Hey, Clay.
Are they at the convention center today?
Yeah, they're at the convention. This is nice and high too.
Well, that's a comforting feeling that you guys have.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm going to ask for a stronger signal. Hey, Clay, can you hear me? JP?
There was me.
Wants coffee? I sure do. Yes, that's for you.
Oh.
Cappuccino. You want some?
Clay, can you hear me?
Two more.
Is your mic on? Yeah. We're looking for a stronger internet.
My supervisor is coming.
Okay, he's coming.
Was it mine?
No, I'm
That's
good.
me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Pete, can you help me set up Nato's computer? It might be a better sound. JP, we're gonna switch computers. This one's acting weird.
No, a lot of people have camera right here. Far away from the camera.
You're right in the camera.
I know, I'm not saying.
Do we want to?
You're the guy who's taking pictures of me, I had something.
There you go.
What's your point?
Payback.
I can't hear you guys though.
Yeah, I did.
You want to do on this one? Yes.
Yeah, let's do it on this one. So here is the,
Should we put it here?
I was just trying to lift it up. All right, here is how we log in. Here's the login number.
2, 3.
Let me just.
I'll forward it to you. What's your email? That might, or
Well,
You
I'm
can't
not
yet.
sure. Just here
maybe just put it in.
because this is Vlada's laptop.
You're not sending me back into the house, are you?
Oh, yeah. Clay, we're getting a cable. Clay, we're getting a cable. Look at this beautiful hotel.
It's gonna- check
Can y'all hear
microphone.
us?
Should be coming from- yeah.
Look at this beautiful hotel.
2, 3. I sent you there too.
I can't hear you. I'm getting a better.
Maybe down.
I can hear you now.
Oh, she can. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna get on a better computer. Mine's just not strong enough.
That's
This is-
gorgeous.
This is Serbia, guys.
Look at that. Oh, here. I guess I can let everybody else in the room see too.
Yeah, if you could, whoops.
There's my mouse. All right. Let's also check the podium mic as well.
Yeah, we're gonna be on another computer pretty soon.
Can you still hear me, Marjorie? Oh, you froze.
Great. Other computer. We're getting a cable link.
Okay. Can you hear me though? Ooh, we lost you.
And have a cable.
They will give us now their laptop so we can.
Okay.
High speed cable. If there's what else you.
Yes, we can use theirs. Yeah, they will.
We can hear you.
You can't hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, maybe, Where are you? Can you set up a camera so we can see?
Yep, I'm getting ready to bring in the podium camera right now.
All right, they said they can hear us on this, so.
This, yes.
Marjorie, you.
So we can see you.
When is the meeting is starting? Or you will sitting?
No, I'll be standing,
Where
Because
you
we
want
have-
to put this? That you
Probably,
can see.
so I can hold it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they it's far away.
So you model it for us.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ah,
Did you get the embassy shot?
Marjorie, maybe.
You could put that in the back. Oh, you have a better one? Yeah,
No, the thing is that this one doesn't have
high speed.
no jack for the
All right.
cable.
All right, we're gonna get a cable so we don't lose. Yeah,
Hey,
Sounds wonderful.
all right.
You're recording here, yes? Or it's a mistake?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I was just like,
Yeah.
I saw something happening.
So this is my new friend.
Hello,
S.
everyone.
Yes,
Hi,
there's Clay.
How are
Hey.
you?
doing wonderful.
Great. Okay.
They do digital marketing over here. They got a company that,
All right, so this is from the podium.
great.
Can you hear
we- Yeah, is there any way we can see the audience with my camera maybe?
If
Oh, maybe they didn't bring it. Hey, Rob, can you put your, I'd love to have everybody put their camera on, so,
so, sort of. I think I can zoom around. Maybe not. Hang on.
okay. Oh, we'll be flying with that, thank you. So when we say the pledge, we'll go back there.
Yeah. You can see our back.
I'm not, no, it's,
Better something than nothing.
yeah. It'll be to the side.
This is great.
Yeah, I don't like to sit and
Yeah.
run the meeting.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this is great.
Yeah, this was
Yeah,
perfect.
this is perfect.
Do you still want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
More meetings to go.
7 more, yes. Soon.
What a year it's been. My goodness.
Well, I can just imagine. Actually, I saw on your Facebook, I saw that you're like deeply active. It's great.
Oh, good, we can see. Yeah,
Oh,
that looks good.
great.
Trying to think where, you're at the convention center this time, right? Yes, ma'am. Okay,
Hello.
So it's going to be, to do the audience and the speaker is going to be a little bit of a trick.
don't worry about yeah, just in the beginning, we're only going to be on 20 minutes with everybody talking, and I would love to have our guest in Serbia see some of the audience. It might be
Okay.
fun. Just play whatever you think. Is JP not coming today?
So JP is at the Georgia Southern graduation in Statesboro.
Awesome. Thank you, Clay.
So it is.
Just share something.
Oh.
Hello,
Hello.
how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
I can hear you.
You
Yeah,
have a good time there?
amazing. You just can't even believe how beautiful Serbia is. I want to take the computer and walk around this hotel.
Awesome. Okay, so I brought some of that brandy. It's out there. So
Sanisha,
we'll
yeah,
definitely.
Sanisha. Ladder's already met Sanisha.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
yes. Y'all, this is, so I'm gonna call you up. We're gonna do the formal stuff. You'll do the national anthem in Serbian first,
Yes,
and then
Yes.
we'll do it.
Roger and I are ready. So Maya could not be here today, so I'm gonna, take over. If I need to say something, you tell me. If not, I'm good just to play with Roger and that's it.
You know what? We're kind of winging it today. So I think when Vlada comes up, it might be fun to speak in Serbian. And my new friend here, who also knows how to speak, is
No.
Serbian. So
Well, I can definitely speak a little bit, she's, much more charming than I am, of course, but, I'll do my best.
Oh, that, I wonder if this is an older computer. It's not coming up real fast.
Well, yeah, it is. We will see now.
Y'all can hear us. We might just have to use my computer. I mean, mine's fine, but it's,
I gotta tell you that the speakers are in front into the hall, so whoever is at the booth talking to you, they might have a little problem hearing what you're saying, especially when there's chatter in the room.
yeah, it's like, can you hear me now?
I mean, I can hear you, but I'm just saying it when it's full, I think he just turned it. Yeah, I think that's gonna help.
Chest 1, 2.
Oh, yeah, that's better.
Chest 1, 2. Yeah. My
That's better.
speakers on here are not good. I can hear you guys perfectly.
Yeah, it's all good. So it's covered. So
Okay.
I'll see you. I don't know who's gonna call my name or whatnot, but I'm just gonna follow your cues from the computer.
And so
Awesome.
when Ted comes, I'm just going to say back to Ted, then Ted, yeah, I'll be running the beginning and then Ted will be running the rest.
Okay.
For the pledge. But I'm
Sounds
going to do. So
Sounds
Sunita,
good.
I'm going to welcome everybody and then you guys are right on. So maybe just be up front.
Yeah, we'll be ready.
Oh, is that a Serbian flag? Did you find one?
No, it's just American. I mean, I had one. If I knew that I could bring it, I would have.
I'm so
Got it.
glad you're going to
No.
be singing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good.
We're good. Thank you. Looking
Yep.
forward.
I would so love to show them. You can't really see it. Maybe move it. And if it's faster, it might
Yeah,
be
we'll
good.
see. Maybe
I wonder if
mm,
it's going to echo.
Yeah, we'll check. We are starting at 6:30. Yes.
It's 6:35. Yep.
Okay.
We've got plenty of
Later,
time.
yeah.
Oh, you don't have to. Yeah, I know.
When is your flight back?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we just
In the
all got
morning
tested.
or-
They're at 6 a.m.
Oh,
and we're not till
so
noon.
you're not sleeping basically tonight.
You'll be sleeping on the plane tomorrow. Hey, Clay, were you able to get the picture of us in front of the embassy?
Seen that. I know that the last email I saw said that they were putting together some stuff for this morning. I did get the video that was put together. Is that it?
No, it's a bunch of us in front of the American embassy in Serbia.
I've not seen that.
Let me see if I can send it. Yeah, the Wi-Fi's, yeah, it might not have come through.
Put your knees up in your neck. Put your knees up, just push in front of you.
We don't have to worry about that because the chair's not like
I'm not sure what's going on with this one.
I think it's too slow.
Yeah.
Error. Yeah, it's not sending.
And what do you think about if I just enter the meeting with my computer from that side of the
That would be
table?
great. Yeah, and have
And
another
then
good idea.
what do you,
Yeah,
yeah?
please do it. Yeah.
So
So we could talk from either end. I
yeah,
don't think it
yeah,
would be,
Yeah.
I don't think it
would be
will,
okay.
I don't think it will make a screechy noise. Go put it up down there. It might even be better to,
I'll
yeah.
check right now because I don't. know what's
I
going
don't
on.
think that one's gonna work.
So when we speak, where are we going to be?
Probably right here.
Okay, you know, there's no light on.
There's no way.
Look at me. When you walked into the picture, it changed a little bit, but look. No, don't walk into the picture. Look at the
Yeah,
silhouette.
it's dark.
It's also reversed.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to use my computer.
You just, if you're standing like here, there's no light on you. So it's a silhouette. I don't know if we can. We don't have much. Can you get some light here?
Yes.
You're not gonna be able to see any of this stuff.
Yeah, you might need, we might. Clay, did you get the picture? I sent it. I think I sent.
Yes, ma'am, I got it. I am getting ready to post it up real quick. We'll let everybody see.
Just in one of the squares, if that's even possible. Yeah, Bill had a little accident. He actually broke his collarbone.
So Marjorie,
Yeah.
you want this image as everybody's walking in? Is that what you want?
Yeah, if you could put it up. Yeah.
All right.
Marjorie, she's actually kind of showing up, but when I stand here, it's a silhouette. Just because of all that light. Is it possible to get a light here?
No, it's impossible.
Or we could use this light. Watch.
So we could use the flashlight.
Yeah, this works. Try that.
Yeah, that's, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll work.
That's what's
Can you brighten this light? Will that become brighter? Or no, it doesn't?
no, no, that's possible.
Doesn't dim.
You not have that option.
Well, I don't understand. You got wine and you've got scotch. but you don't have
I hope so.
Is Ted there yet?
I have not seen him, but knowing him, he is probably in the lobby doing his thing.
Awesome. Hey, Elizabeth.
Okay, that's the solution.
Yes.
Those are like two kinds.
I like the way you think.
That's the thing. Now you will get both. Just for the truth.
What, did yours work?
Yeah, I'm trying. I think it will.
Yeah.
I will actually just take it for the
Yeah.
idea.
Perfect.
Hi, Marjorie. I hope you're enjoying your trip.
Serbia has been amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Can't wait to hear about it and see all the beautiful
Yeah, Bill.
photos.
Hey, Elizabeth,
Look what he
Hi,
did. to
Bill.
his
look
shoulder.
what I found.
And
Yeah, he broke it.
oh no.
Yeah, collarbone.
Oh, ow.
That was
Well,
fun.
I hope you have a speedy recovery.
He's going home for surgery.
Hmm.
Yeah. Say hi to Pete. Hey, Liz. Yeah,
Still early.
yeah, it's still early, but it'll go quick.
Do we have something from the embassy?
Yes, we got a picture.
Is that her?
Oh, she's not on yet. Oh, I can need to add that to the agenda. Was her name Elizabeth from the embassy?
She didn't have a card. So we get it done.
She's in our group, and
Oh, is she?
maybe,
Okay, I don't know.
where should I pull her on? What's politically correct? After Lara and Hamza?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So as soon as he's done with
Yeah,
that,
that'd be.
yeah. Okay. I think we can all kind of stand when we get ready. I'll just sit around. It'll be really fast. But not now. I mean.
Marjorie, I'm in.
Oh, you are in?
Yeah, now I just don't know.
Are we getting an echo? No echo? You don't think?
I mean, now I hear you.
We're getting an echo. We can just turn.
Turn the volume down and then.
Yeah.
Use it to just like.
Clay, do you hear an echo if one of us turns it down?
Or maybe it's better to.
Well, we're pretty good.
Camera. They can see us inside the microphone.
Oh, I guess I could turn on my camera here too.
Yeah, let me test the other microphone. Hold on.
Sure.
You want to do that?
Let's test that.
Bill, what's up there? Marjorie, what's up with Bill? With the sling?
I broke my collarbone. First afternoon here, I tripped on the sidewalk and hit on my shoulder and broke my collarbone.
Well, then
Oh, dear.
Yes, that was my reaction.
I was there to take care of you.
Ted, can you hear us from this computer? Test 1, 2. They can't.
From there.
I don't think
they
they can.
actually can because.
That's a full court. Yeah. Yeah.
Ted, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I want to
You about
show you
ready?
this. Do it.
Oh, well, here, hang on. Do you want to wait and do that as part of everybody or just like with me and Ted sitting back here?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to play it by ear. We have been nonstop. I mean, it's been great. So Ted, I'll either say back to you, Ted, or I'm going to do the welcome and then the songs, and then I'm going to go, and then you start with the pledge. You got the latest one. Okay.
Okay. And then, because from what I understand, there isn't like a PowerPoint presentation or anything this morning. So we'll just put you and the gallery up on screen and that will be the show.
Yep. And we'll probably go till 5 till 1. And then the rest of it will be speaker.
Okay.
Hopefully, can you hear us from back here? Or is it, how close? Test, test.
Yes, we can hear you.
Here. Okay.
We are live right now, too.
The rest
We
of the
are?
room hears you too. Oh, yeah. We're, you know what we do? We bring big speakers and we make lots of noise. So like, you're right up our alley.
Awesome. So there's our group. They're sitting around the boardroom at the Hyatt in
All
Belgrade.
right, well, just to give you a heads up, I'm about to put you live on screen and everybody else, and we're just going to roll with it. All
Yeah,
right.
that's what I wanted to make it feel like we're there. And I know folks haven't shown up yet. It's still a little early.
You are now 7 feet by 12 feet projected into live from Serbia.
Live from Serbia. Yep.
So in here in a second, whenever Ted rings the bell, I'll go ahead and we'll take the camera back over towards Ted. And then at the end, we'll just move it back towards the end just so we can see everybody kind of.
So
see
I
that.
think at 12:35, that would be good. 12:35 to ring
Okay.
the bell. Yeah.
Right.
We're ready to roll.
Right, now I know. I said, well, okay, I'll come anyway, but I have a problem. I know when I come to the United States, I can only have one wife. So do I take the mother
Maybe
of my
lighter.
children, or do I take the mother of the woman that I love? And he said, I can't help. I can't help you with that one. Oh, my God. Oh, yes, yes, Nigeria.
So what's the order of us speaking?
So that's a good idea. All right, guys.
Oh, gee. Being married to.
But here's we're gonna ring the bell. We're gonna welcome everybody. We're gonna have the Serbian song. We're gonna have the American anthem, both anthems, then the Pledge of Allegiance, the invocation, the welcome. Then I'm gonna talk a little bit. Then Lara will talk a little bit. And then we'll do the end. Then if the embassy is on. On then Frank, then Bill, then Pete. Okay. I'm gonna, yeah, we're gonna come up here when there's time. Yeah.
So we come up like
No,
right.
Ted's bringing it over here.
So we come like right to here. This is where we speak to.
Yep,
this?
you're gonna speak right here.
Okay.
Yep, and you got to kind of get closer because my microphone is not so great.
We got to adjust it too. And
Yeah.
For your little.
Yeah, sure.
Short. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We got time. Rocky? Rocka? How do you say it? Oh. It is dark. I wonder how they turned the lights down. They probably needs
Is it better to have them up?
No, it's not better to have them off. Okay, I'm gonna use my cell phone for a light. Can we turn the lights back up?
Turn it down a little bit.
I don't, yeah,
Try.
okay. Yes, thank you. Much better. Yes.
So it's a fairly,
Hey, Clay. Clay. Clay.
Yes, ma'am.
We're expecting somebody from the US Embassy. I don't know quite how to pronounce her name, but she'll need to be big at, we added her right after Hamza Toda.
Okay.
So,
I'll be on the lookout for her.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What? Oh, we got about 10 minutes. Good. It doesn't look like anybody's there. Is anybody there? They're all over here.
Well, and they're convention center. So I'm looking at the anyway.
Yeah.
Marjorie?
Yeah.
I'm gonna log out and log right back in. So just don't panic. That's all.
All right. Don't
Right,
go too
thank you.
far. Thank you, Clay. I wonder if this is the first time we've ever gone live. President's gone live.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Doris Morning, please, be just.
No.
Yeah.
I can't believe we played that song on the radio. That was so funny.
I think so, man. At least in our district, for sure.
You're a trendsetter, Mark. Are you
Yeah.
only gonna be from voice stuff? You might wanna take the tag off. Thank you.
Yeah, Marjorie, the trendsetter. Marjorie, the viral one, right? The board.
You give up presidency in June? 27. Yeah. Trip Thomas. Yep. And after that, Todd.
No.
Yeah, that's a district governor.
District governor.
Yeah.
Did we find the Sasha? Couldn't find parking, maybe.
Just staying in touch.
Yes, yeah.
Very far.
30 minutes.
I have a son, she wants to apply for the speech. So we'll make sure we follow it. Yeah, excellent. The other man, he's. Glad I was saying, he was like, love to have him.
Absolutely.
I was pushing to get a lot of applications from the CFO, so there's one.
Awesome. You really Andy Long.
Oh, yeah, very well. He was my assistant. I knew him when we were there.
Do you know his wife? Have you talked to his wife at all?
No, I do not know her as well, but I know other Rotarians. You know. Yeah.
So sad. Oh, good.
So they're
What happened was, we were not right with him. He never really confided in me totally, but few people every day, but probably told him not to confide in me. Others were still there, so I knew not that, but not from Steve. Still in touch with that.
He was very optimistic.
That's what is happening every time I call him. He's so optimistic. I'm optimistic myself by nature.
Right.
So we're hearing back.
Starting yesterday,
In the Rotary.
No, just as a side note, Andy, he's, the police station, you know, commercial Rotary happened during this group trip change trip to Germany, where the team. That's when he really became the team. Before that, you know,
I'm so excited about they start studying very more.
Yeah.
He was family for, in host family.
I know the governor comes to his office, I know office space, right? So whenever I meet,
It was fast. He
and the first round and stuff, you know, ready to go. Oh my God.
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes, 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 yes.
Hi, okay.
Okay. Can you, we might add, how do I pronounce your name?
Shanley,
Shanley, Shanley.
last name Pinchatti, but if you just say Shanley, that's fine.
From the embassy and USAID. And
Mhm.
the picture that you all took at the embassy today, he's showing it on the big screen.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I'll try to do what I can while maneuvering with children.
So Shanley, after Hamsa Toda, I'll ask you to, for a few words. I know you
Okay.
don't have a lot of time, but
Sounds good.
Can you just spell Shannon's name? Because I was gonna put
right
her
there.
in- Okay.
Thank you.
I can spell it. It's like Stanley, but with an H.
Shanley.
Shanley.
Yeah, and we're gonna start it at in 3 or 4 minutes. I just want to make sure Ted's up there.
I'll put my video back on when you call on me.
See Zoe and Ben and Travis and Kyle and Matt and Ryan.
Okay, is Shanti, is there another name? Is that it?
And then the last.
That's it. That's it.
There's them dots after, so I want to make sure I don't miss their name. Okay.
Frank has been doing social media because Frank broke his collarbone.
Yes, he was telling me at the embassy. First day of the trip.
First few hours of the trip, yes.
Oh, wow.
So Clay, maybe turn the camera around so I can see Ted, so I can figure out who goes next. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Clay, we're ready.
Okay, the bell rang. Had to stand up. Here we go. So welcome to the Rotary Club of Savannah's May 9th, 2022 meeting live from Serbia. I bet it's the first time in our district that any club has gone live from another country, and definitely live from Serbia. So, all right, we are here and we are well, maybe all except for Bill. He broke his collarbone, but we're going to jump right in and we are going to present both national anthems, starting with with Sinisha. He's going to be playing and Roger's going to be singing, and we're going to start with the Serbian national anthem. So here we go.
Bože pravde I što smasti od propasti dosta nas čuj Otca naše glase I Otca nam budi spas možnom rukom podi brasti duš nos srpski rod, Bože spasi, Bože brani, spasa zemlje srpski rod, Bože spasi, Bože brani, srpske zemlje srpski rod. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
sing us the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, beautiful.
Please
Thank you
join me
all
in the
for-
Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we have an invocation. Nita Hagen, thank you.
Irinje Dobrojevich, the Serbian Orthodox Bishop of Eastern America since 2016, and the Serbian Orthodox Bishop of Australia and New Zealand prior to that, gave an invocation to Congress in August 2018 in honor of our club's current trip to Serbia, as well as the upcoming election. I've adapted his invocation. Dear Lord, God of justice, we offer you our sincere thanksgiving and heartfelt prayer for and with those whom you have graciously vested in leadership roles throughout our businesses, community, and country. Enable our business leaders to build successful organizations that serve the diverse interests and needs of those who reside, labor, and study here. In light of those within our organization who are currently across the world, to recognize and celebrate the good that is being done by our organization and others like it, let's continue to remember that you accomplish more and go so much further when you build bridges versus constructing walls. In light of the upcoming election, guide those who deliberate, legislate, or make policy on our collective behalf in the spirit of unity, openness, and understanding. Allow the hearts of those who earnestly pledge indivisible liberty and justice for all to be open to the words and resounding concerns of those they serve. May they be enlightened by your precepts and motivated in their altruistic service to our community, state, nation, and people throughout the world. Bless and preserve them and us, Lord. This we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Anita. And thank you, Sanisha and Roger Moss. Just beautiful way to start our meeting. I will now ask our Secretary Treasurer, Rabbi Haas, to come forward to welcome our visiting Rotarians and guests. And while he's making his way up here, I will welcome the 17 members who are joining us by Zoom, in addition to all our friends on the other side of the Atlantic in Belgrade. Rabbi Haas.
First, I want to say hi, Marjorie. Can you hear us?
Oh, loud and clear.
Great
We
to
got-
see you. Great to see you. Ted is doing a great job, by the way.
Great.
Of course, when he came to say hi to me, he lifted up his plate of ham just to show me he was eating ham, and asked me why I don't eat ham and cursed my mom. But that was a whole different thing. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful one. I know we had a wonderful Mother's Day, and it's very difficult for those of us who've lost our mothers, as I have almost 20 years ago, but she remains in my heart and my mind, as my therapist knows oh so well. After 10 years, and I've been together with my wife for 8, she finally realized that I was married and had children, because she thought I lived with my mother and that my mother lived with me. And I told her, yes, my mother lives with me in here all the time. So happy Mother's Day. We welcome Ray Rayback, Brooke Childers. Both of them are members of they're visiting Rotarians. Brooke is with E-Club, guest of Julie Olson. Sanisha, thank you so much. Regina Klontz is with Mars Theater, a guest of Robert Grant. Annie Rockwell is a guest of Kelly Weiss. Eileen Gabby from Productive Prophets is a guest of Diana Morrison. I invite all of you to rise real quick and let's give them a big hand. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rabbi Haas. Marjorie, are you ready to give us an update?
We are here. We made it over. It was a wonderful trip. I'll let Bill talk about his incident. We're all going to just give a little bit of an update first, but I want to tell you, I have been so pleasantly surprised of what a gracious welcome we have had here in Belgrade. DG, come on up here. DG Vlada, he is also the past mayor in this area. He has arranged everything for all of us to stay with host families. So we really got to experience what it's like what it's like to live with a Serbian family. And he arranged for us to go to some Roman ruins. We had a Roman meal. We went on some private boats and up the Belgrade, up the Danube, right past the old town. It's been fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And would you like to address our members?
Yes, thank you, Marjorie. Hello to our friends in Rotary Club of Savannah. Once again, I want to thank you for you sending these beautiful people in Serbia. And I hope that you will be coming very often to our beautiful country. Also, I will hope that we will visit Savannah and you, and thank you guys for your support, for friendships, and from Rotary. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Gosh, the hospitality here is just phenomenal. So past District Governor Hamza Toda, when he talked to me about doing this a number of months ago, you say yes when Hamza does that. So anyhow, Hamza, you want to talk a little bit about the grant and how much we're helping so many people over here. Go ahead.
Thank you, Marjorie. Fellow Rotarians from Georgia, Savannah, visitors in Savannah, as well as fellow Rotarians from Serbia. It's a pleasure to say a few words to both of you. It has been a dream come true. The dream to have District 6920 Rotarians be in action, building friendships, promoting understanding, working on global grant projects together with support from the Rotary Foundation. That dream has come true, my fellow Rotarians. We're here together to celebrate our successes. We saw that firsthand in the school and in kindergarten, the good we're doing to help educate children of the world, in this case in Serbia. We can do the same thing. We're doing the same thing in Georgia. I look forward to working with all of you, not only on global grants, but also district grants, so we can educate our own Georgia children so they are fit and ready to go for the 21st century. With that, and thank you.
Thank you. So USAID is out of the Serbian, the American embassy in Serbia, and we have her, there we go, Shanley. We just were at the US embassy, and she would like to talk a little bit about this this grant that 18 different clubs from around the world participated in, raised $76,000, which will be helping 48,000 children in 100 schools. And we saw it firsthand today, these precious little children, like, second and third grade with these robots, making them work. They were so excited. So Shanley, thank you for hosting us today at the embassy and
Sure.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks
Yeah.
for letting me just say, I just wanted to greet everyone and just say, one, thank you very much for the donations and the volunteering time and money. I was explaining today that these people-to-people connections with Serbia are extremely important because we due to past foreign policy issues with the 90s and bombing in Serbia, the US does not enjoy a lot of public support in terms of, at least when you ask about the rating about the US government. But that's why even more so these people-to-people activities are important, and showing the goodwill coming from the United States and showing partnership with Serbian Rotary as well, that goes beyond foreign policy, and a lot of people can make that differentiation. And so those are the relationships that pay a lot of dividends and help us with our greater United States-Serbia relationship overall in the long run. I personally value Rotary a lot because myself, I benefited as a Rotary cultural ambassadorial scholar. When I graduated college, my local club in Williamsburg, Virginia, sent me to Italy for a year to study human rights, excuse me. And that year really set me on a path for what I'm doing now with USAID as a foreign service officer. So I always just want to be very thankful also to Rotary for, again, what you've given to the world, but to me personally too, I benefited. And again, I think what we're trying to do in Serbia is build this culture of civil society, which is about private giving that doesn't rely on the government for things, and that gets people taking their own initiative and taking their future in their hands and helping their own local communities. And it's happening in Serbia, but we want to make that even bigger. And so again, your support and presence just makes that even more real and helps us to move that further along. So thank you again.
Thank you. We certainly appreciate you coming. You know, it's really true that peace begins with fellowship, and that's what we have done this week. We have been in their homes, we have been in their businesses, we have walked all over their town, and the relationships that we have made over here, this is really Rotary in action. This is what Rotary is all about. And Frank, I'm going to pull up Frank. Come on. Frank has a few words of his experience so far. There you go.
Hello there. We have had a wonderful time here being our host families and getting to know a lot of Rotarians from Serbia very closely, and it's just been a great time for all of us. But the best part of our whole week so far has been today. Today we got to see what the seeds that we sowed are produced, which has been a great program and is benefiting so many people, so many students, and so many children in the next generation, which will have an experience like Shanley did. They'll be able to look back and say, yeah, Rotary helped me to begin on my trip through learning computer programs through our GoBot project. Anyway, it's been a wonderful time, and today we had a great adventure, seeing everything, and then finally getting to report back to our club of the great things that have happened here, and hopefully planning for the next.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. Frank's been wonderful with social media because poor Bill, well, he'll tell you. Come on up.
Thank you, Marjorie. In the Tennessee Williams play, A Streetcar Named Desire, Blanche Dubois says, I have always depended upon the kindness of strangers. On our first afternoon here, I tripped on the sidewalk and fell and hit my shoulder and completely broke my left clavicle. As I was falling, and I review it in my mind in slow motion, I remember two things in particular. One was how embarrassed I expected to feel when I had to stand up off the sidewalk with all those people staring at me. The second thing I remember, more importantly, was before I even hit the ground, 3 people were reaching out to try to catch me and help me. Mm-hmm. Barbara and I like to travel as much as we can. And one of the things that we discover over and over again is that as we meet people in other parts of the world, we are so much more alike than we are different. I can't say enough about the hospitality we've gotten here. I can't also say enough about the food that we've gotten here. It has not only been wonderful, but it has seemingly been nonstop. I suspect we will all need to go on a diet when we get home. I think I've even caught Hamza and Marjorie eating meat a couple of times. The one other thing I'd like to say is to Sunitha, actually, because he has mentioned to our club a couple of times about the local beverage, Rekia. Now, what he didn't tell us that we've learned since we got here is that this is actually medicinal.
Yeah, right.
And there are different Rekias for different ailments. So in the spirit of the international cooperation, I have been sampling as many varieties as I can to try to find the one that mends broken bones. So, anyway, it's been a wonderful trip. Thank you. And thank you to all the Serbians who've been there.
And thank you, Bill. That was really from the heart. And Pete, of course, has spent many years overseas with his wife and speaks Russian. And when I found out that he spoke Russian, I'm like, you're coming with us. So anyhow, come on up.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. And it's great to be here talking to y'all back in Savannah. I tell you, this has been a great trip. We in Savannah pride ourselves as being the hostess city. But after the hospitality that we've received here over the last week, I think we might need to share that title with Belgrade, because they truly know how to do hospitality right. And as you just heard, the food, if you don't like to eat, don't come here.
Yeah.
If you're trying to lose weight, don't come here. So those are two little bits of advice, but otherwise this is just a great place to come. But I can only say again that the highlight, even though the hospitality and the food was just amazing, the highlight was today handing off those robot drones to the instructors, the teachers, and seeing the students, some of the students that were going to benefit from that. It's just heartwarming. You know, in today's world, there's a lot of bad things going on out there, and we see it on the news every day. And it's very easily to lose faith in humanity by seeing what's going on in the world today. A trip like this just reinforces in me that the human spirit is still strong. We cooperating together with these Rotary clubs here in Serbia and our club, we can accomplish great things. We're accomplishing great things. These young people that are learning how to code, using code to work these drones, what an amazing thing it's going to be for them and for their life. And I just want to end by saying, you know, the full way test, the third element of that is, does it build goodwill and better friendships? This project is absolute living proof of that. Indeed, we're building good friendships. So thank you for our gracious hosts, and thank you for our Club of Savannah for supporting this wonderful project.
Thank you. I just want to say that I got to stay with a gal named Natasha, and she owns a marketing company over here that I know I'll be able to collaborate with her. And one of the things I wanted to learn how to do was to cook. So she taught me how to make a typical Serbian breakfast. You saute some red peppers and some eggs together, and you drink yogurt. And they don't eat Cheerios over here. So anyhow, I just want to say, I just hope everybody watching at some point in their Rotarian career gets to do a global grant and gets to come to a foreign country and stay with a host family. It will change your life forever. It will open your eyes to, we're in a great big world, and we can do, as a collective group of 1.2 million Rotarians, we can move the needle. We can make this a better world, and we're doing it one step at a time. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Ted and to introduce the speaker.
Thank you, President Marjorie, and thank you to our entire team over there for the mission that they accepted to continue to begin this, the real process of the global grant. If I could just for a minute, I'd like to, in particular, thank past District Governor Hamza Thoda, who brought to my attention as president of the club the opportunity that we could have to be the lead sponsor of this global grant. And Hamza, you'll recall this wasn't easy. We had to submit the grant twice, but because of Hamza's persistency and perspicacity and everything else that he brought, as he has for the longest time in his leadership position with Rotary. Hamza, what a great job that we were all able to do this, to get the other clubs with us, and to bring it ultimately to Serbia, as you've shared with us. And just so everyone knows, providing MBOT robots to Serbian grade school students was not to create an entertainment venue. As Pete said, the purpose was to provide a lesson plan with them to teach coding, programming, and robotics. And why? It doesn't make sense to train kids in grammar school to be prepared for a job that doesn't exist anymore. It's to prepare them for the future, futures in the professions that will be created in the future, the result of robotics and artificial intelligence, coding and programming. So great that this is in such great support of the mission of peace that's part of Rotary, the educational mission of Rotary, and so many other things that can come from this. Again, high honors to you, Hamza. Thank you.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Ted.
To our partners in Serbia, we'll look forward to welcoming you to the hostess city of the South, Savannah, Georgia. And now I'm going to ask Larry Silverman to come to the podium to introduce our speaker. Larry.
Thank you, Ted. Our speaker today is Bob Houghton, president of the Georgia Association of Broadcasters, a position he's held for the past 10 years. Bob has an extensive broadcast background, having spent the bulk of his career either running or selling advertising for radio stations from Atlanta to Chicago to New York and beyond. Prior to his radio days, Bob served as a captain in the U.S. Navy and is a proud Vietnam veteran. Along with his current duties as president of GAB, Bob finds time to teach classes at the University of Georgia, where he was just recently inducted as a Grady Fellow, a high honor indeed. And as if that isn't enough, he is currently president of the National Alliance of State Broadcaster Associations. He's active with Leadership Atlanta and a board member of the Georgia Chamber of Commerce. Bob will speak today on the importance of broadcasters to our state. But if you'll indulge me for just a moment, I want to tell you how important Bob is to us. Bob and his team are on the forefront of advocating change and protecting Georgia's radio and television stations. I can tell you from personal experience, after Hurricane Matthew, WTOC, along with other broadcasters, had trouble getting fuel into past checkpoints so we can fuel our generators and stay on the air. Bob leapt into action, getting clearance for us through both GEMA and the State Patrol. He then successfully lobbied the state legislature to get them to pass a bill officially designating broadcasters as first responders, a distinction that is necessary for us to properly serve our communities. So it is with tremendous gratitude and my great pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Bob Houghton. Bob.
Thank you, Larry. Larry is one of 3 television general managers that are on our board. My last boss was Dave, who just came here, Dave Hart, and my next boss will be Larry. So I am well represented in Savannah, and I'm sure I'll be here more often because of all the great support we get from them. The rabbi mentioned Mother's Day, and without question, my fondest memory of my mother is singing the national anthem, and also at funerals, but mainly singing the national anthem. And this gentleman really brought back memories of my mother singing, and thank you very much for that. But I'm sure she never sang the national anthem in a foreign language, and I was very impressed by that. I think the rest of you probably were too. Thank you for this invitation to speak to your club today. When Larry asked me, I was quick to say yes, as I recognize the power and influence of Rotary clubs have around the world, our nation, and here in Georgia. And I think we had no better example of that than what we just witnessed with around the world in Serbia. And that's just what I think of when I think of how important the Rotarians are. And as a person that does conventions and meetings all over the state, I think of the Rotary whenever I'm going to go to another city, because I make sure we don't go on the same day as Rotary, because we're not going to have the crowd we want there if we try to compete with the organization. Many of our members are members of Rotary, and we share a common bond. Your motto of service above self is what I believe most broadcasters aspire to as they serve the communities that they work and live in. The Rotary was founded in my hometown in Chicago in 1913, and a year later, Savannah was one of the first clubs to be formed in the South. The Georgia Association of Broadcasters has a common bond. We are, by the way, the first state association to be formed, and we were formed right here in Savannah at the place that you normally have your meetings, at the DeSoto Hotel. So we certainly have that bond in common. We also recently, you talked about hospitality, we recently held our convention here, in fact, at the hotel next door at the Westin. The hospitality that we received and the fun we had, in addition to the business we conducted, means that we'll be probably coming back here in another year or two after having a meeting for 3 years, well, interrupted in one of those years in Atlanta. We plan to be back here. Looking forward to that. As I said, the broadcasters share fundamental beliefs with Rotarians and throughout the state. We are both committed to the truth, honesty, and the service to the communities that we live in. One other thing I'll think about too is that I was actually in this building, and I remember it only because Larry brought up when we passed that bill in the legislature, which, by the way, if you've never had the opportunity to try and pass a bill in the legislature, it is an interesting experience. At the end of the situation, I was more relieved than proud. It's something that's, but anyway, we had to come here and meet with the emergency management members from all over the state to get final approval of it. So I was actually probably, if not in this room, in this building, to get that bill after it was passed, enacted. So pleasant memories a lot here. We've all lived through now over 2 years of an experience that none of us expected. But I think we've all learned a lot from that experience. Certainly we as broadcasters have. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the lessons we've learned. First and foremost, we are local. I'll probably bring this up till you're tired of it. We are not the national cable networks. We are not the national news that seems to irritate so many of us. We are local. We live in your neighborhoods. We work in your neighborhoods, and we serve in your neighborhoods. So some of the lessons that we've learned, we've expanded our newscast, not only in Savannah, but around the state from 6 hours to 8 hours. But that really wasn't enough either. And as I think we just witnessed, and I might make a couple more references to the ability to zoom around the world, but we zoom around the state. And we've learned that we really need to be more dependent than just our regularly scheduled programming. Great dependence on digital and the non-formatted platforms, such as websites, social media, and other apps. And we'll talk more about some of the technology here in just a moment. But just to give you an idea of things that go on just in the first 4 months of the year, Savannah broadcasters hosted the governor's debate. Savannah broadcasters covered the tragedy of the tornadoes in Bryan County, excuse me. And of course, local broadcasters actually were the first people to report on the Aubrey Avery murder and the breaking story that continued to a trial conclusion. I don't know if the whole story has been told yet, but I can promise you that local broadcasters will be there to fill you in whatever happens next. And then past COVID experiences with state officials, law enforcement, and health officials, we've been very, very busy telling our story and letting you know what's the latest was on that, and that continues to this day. So how does our audience consume our product? Well, it's different. You have pictures in the old days of people gathered around their radio, and then we have in the 50s and 60s when many of us grew up gathering around the television. It's not like that anymore. Everybody has their own individual way to consume our product, whether it be radio or television. They can watch it on their computer, large screen and small screen. They can watch it on their mobile phone. I haven't yet figured out what the enjoyment of watching a sporting event on a 3-inch telephone is, but you still see an awful lot of people doing that. We have Bluetooth in our cars, so if we want to listen to something, we can pick it up through the internet with Bluetooth. And of course, we still have our traditional TV and radio devices. So that's how we consume it. And I think all of you know that I just heard somebody say, who would have ever thought you would buy a car like it was in a vending machine and you just pick it out from whatever row it was. Well, what we're doing with broadcast is not quite that absurd, but almost. So people depend, we talked about how they get it. Now we're talking about, other ways. And of course, that's our website, social media, and our other apps. But I think no matter how we get the information to you, the importance for us is to bring it to you with a live and local perspective. I think when you compare how the world is with social media and the Wild West, I will call it, and with cable news, local television and radio is very different. We are striving to be honest. We are striving to provide news that is important to you in your daily lives. Talk about a couple of specific things on that as we go along. We're looking for common ground and common good, much like the folks that are Rotarians around the country and now around the world do on a regular basis. 90% of Georgians listen to a radio or a television program every week. And on certain times, that percentage goes up even higher as people turn for information and comfort. No better example of that exists than the tragic situation in Bryan County less than a month ago. Your local broadcasters were there to tell you the storms were coming. They were there to tell you how bad they were. And most importantly, I believe they were there after the storms were over to help rebuild that area through through the ways they did things, included providing funds, organizing volunteer events, and all they could do afterwards. And I ask, where were the Weather Channel? Where were the CNN after the storm was over? They come and they go and they're on to their next event. The local broadcasters were here before the storm. They live here. They reported on their home area and they came back to help rebuild it. And that's what local broadcasters do. I do want to talk about big tech. I'm going to talk about the good parts of big tech because it's very important to our industry. And then we'll talk about some of the challenges. No better example of what we can do than what we just saw. Imagine the car coming out of a vending machine is pretty spectacular, but this wasn't too bad either. Thousands of miles away, you were able to communicate with your fellow members from the Rotary Club. Well, that's what we do every day now with our product. And it's been a tremendous opportunity. Zoom is now totally accepted for a form of interviewing. It's convenient. It allows us to get more guests than we could normally get. And quite frankly, it saves money and time to be able to have them. But I do wonder, do you think that many people really have that many books behind them in their house? I always got a kick out of it. But as I said, it provides us with additional access. The next thing, and it's over there, but you all have them in your pocket, that provides us an ability is the mobile phone. It allows us to really get more details on a story. If we're on a story, we can Google it, we can call somebody, we can go to it and just make sure that we have our facts straight. Because unlike some other branches of the media, we want to make sure that we have our facts straight. And of course, we can use video both to record and send the messaging or to actually use it to be the vehicle that we use. So the mobile phone is access to research video and then communicating with other station resources. So if we're on a story and we need some background information and it's not available on Google, if that happens, they can go back and talk to their assignment editor, their producers, and even other reporters to find out what's going on, I mean, what else they need to know about the story, especially some of the rapidly changing stories. It extends our deadlines. I have memories of trying to get back to my radio station with the second half of a football game because, and I got stuck in traffic and it was on tape that we had to get back. Things like that still used to happen. If you got stuck in traffic, maybe the feature that was going to run at 5 minutes into the program runs at 20 minutes, or maybe it can't run at all because of other reasons. That doesn't happen anymore with the ability to send information via the phone and through other electronic medium, but mainly the phone. And the other thing it does is with deadlines not really just existing anymore because of all the other ways that we consume our product. It also allows us to provide up-to-date updates on any story through our social media and digital product. I'm a radio person first and foremost, as I think Larry mentioned. So I want to talk about radio and how it has changed and the opportunities to be more than just audio. Now, I'm a radio guy. I believe in the spoken word. I believe in the memories that radio has created for almost all of us in this room in one way or another. But it's great that we now have so many more things that we can do with it. It allows us to cover more stories, use video and photos when we send it back to our website, write text, record sound from the field and bring it back to the station, making our stories much more livable. And again, that was not the phone, but that just think of what a miracle that I don't know if we took for granted, but that we do every day now with our phones and our computers to bring the world the news. I don't know how many people are streaming, but that is becoming more and more popular. I live at Lake Oconee, which is 95 miles from where I work. So I'm probably 3 days a week in Atlanta and 2 days back at the lake. And I can still keep up with what's going on in Atlanta broadcasting through streaming. I wake up every morning that I am home and listen to the local news to find out what the weather and what events are going on in the city. And when you travel to other cities now, I'm sure, yes, you can go and look at the Weather Channel or other things like that. But what I do is I stream the news station or the station I know provides the most reliability to find out not just what the weather is going to be, but what the people are talking about. And if I'm going to a meeting with somebody and I can bring up an event that I heard about on the radio station in the town that I was going to be at the next day, it gives me kind of a leg up. And so streaming is wonderful for that. And one of the more really interesting things is a lot of people in Savannah seem to live here their whole life, but a lot of us grew up in other parts. I mentioned I grew up in Chicago, and sometimes I just need a Chicago fix to hear that they're bragging about it reaching 25 degrees or something like that, or otherwise just see what the Cubs or the White Sox are doing or things like that. And to be able to go to the radio station that you grew up with and hear your hometown, maybe hear a familiar voice that you've known for a long time or felt you knew for a long time. So streaming has the short term, the intermediate, and things like that just bring back a lot of pleasant memories. So we couldn't do what we're doing now without technology, but big tech is just too darn big. There's not many things that unite Republicans and Democrats, progressives and conservatives in this country. But right now, and if there are some people from big tech companies here, you're probably feeling the brunt of this. They all are united in saying that big tech has just gotten too big and too powerful. Our industry has been victimized by this in several different ways. First, in advertising revenue. The big tech companies are now taking over 70%, some people say as high as 77% of the local revenue that comes into our city. To our cities around the country. And they don't play fair. I don't, your kids might have said that to you, but in this particular case, it's definitely true. They don't pay for the content that we develop and they use, and then they use to sell against us. It just seems like a backward scenario. Our primary platforms that I was mentioning that we're using are all products of big tech. So they can charge us whatever they want, or in some cases, pay us whatever they want for the content that we've given to them. Now, I was bad-mouthing cable for a while, but cable TV has been very generous in paying us a fair part for our content. So there's plenty of precedent for that. And I do want to remind you that radio and TV are the only forms of media that inform you and entertain you that are regulated by the government and provide their services for free. Now, if you tell me you pay fees for some of the product that I was just talking about, you're not paying the radio station or the television station. You're paying the big tech provider for that. And again, we do not participate in that as we have in other things. So right now, we're very interested to see what's going to happen with broadcast regulations. Is big tech going to start paying their fair share? I think so. There's too many important people that are Republicans and Democrats, liberals and conservatives that are for this situation. There are bills in the House. There are things happening. We just recently won our first battle with regulatory fees. So we're very hopeful that things are going to start to be changed. But what has been the effect of some of these things? People read their paper or other print publications. Are they a little thinner than they used to be, if they're still printing at all? I was in the building where the Savannah Morning News was yesterday or earlier last week, and I can remember what a great newspaper that was and what a challenge it is today. It's not right. We need the information. We need local journalism from whether it's print or broadcast, and things just need to be done to make that work out. A lot of radio stations have gone dark around here, and you would know that, but you might not know just how much they've cut back on their staff and some of the quote unquote tricks they've had to use to stay on the air, voice tracking from other markets, and recording much and not being live and local, which I believe, and I will finish my remarks by saying is critically important to the success of both our radio and TV stations. But we are optimistic. We recognize that we have to go back to the basics is what made us good. And if what worked before when we were the only game in town, it can still work, and we have to use those digital products to make it work. I teach, as Larry mentioned, at the University of Georgia, and I can tell you that my students are taking low-paying jobs in distant markets because they have a passion and an honesty to provide honest journalism, and, if I can borrow your term, service to themselves. So maybe there's some potential Rotarians in my class there because they have a strong passion and desire to be part of it. I've been in broadcasting for nearly 50 years. Not quite sure I'm going to make it to 50, but if Larry has anything to say about it, maybe I will. I've been in high school sports in small towns. I lived in Chicago and New York. And now for 10 years, I've been the president of the Georgia Association of Broadcasting. It's not the same business that I came into in the 1970s, but our mission is the same, and the future is bright. We have passion and pride in what we do in serving the people in this room and around. So I ask you, when you consume your local television or radio station over the next 2 days, think about the men and women who have made it possible. They have many of the same goals in life that you have. They're certainly familiar with the same roads and restaurants and things like that you go to. And I want to close my remarks by saying I have great respect for all Rotarians in the club in Savannah, and that certainly was an impressive video that you had, and it just gives a great example of what I think the Rotarians is all about. I'll close my remarks by saying what I say when I'm speaking to other folks and to my members. It's a great day to be a broadcaster in Georgia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bob, for that insight into the electronic communications that we are constantly being bombarded with, but reminding us how important it is that we have honest, local, both electronic and print media right here in Savannah. It's what I depend on, that's for sure. Now, a personal point I'd like to make is it's great to welcome another Chicago boy to Savannah, Georgia. Don't get that opportunity all the time. The reminder that that big tech is too big and too powerful, it's almost suffocating at times. And I'm not sure what the answer is, but I have confidence that organizations like Georgia Broadcasting will be working on it in our favor and not in big tech's favor. We have time for some questions of our speaker, if anyone would like to. Very good. I have a few announcements. Do not forget that Thursday, the 12th, is our Party with a Purpose at the Junior Achievement Colonial Group Discovery Center. It's billed as a happy hour, but it goes on for an hour and a half, actually, from 5:30 until 7. And the suggested donation is $25, benefiting, of course, the Junior Achievement, such a great organization. And if you haven't seen the Discovery Center, it's worth the moments that you'll be out there just to see how impressive it's been done by the Junior Achievement. Our next meeting is the 16th. We'll be back at the DeSoto Hotel, and our speaker talking about dealing with local broadcasters. Dawn Baker is our speaker. She's with WTOC, and she's going to be talking about Dawn's Daughters, and we'll look forward to that. Thank you, Larry. President Marjorie, I'm going to give it back to you to adjourn if you like.
Yep, we've just got a few more things. Clay, if you could put the 45-second video that we have. And I also want to introduce you to the youngest Rotarian in the world. No, really, really. He's 22 years old. He has a Paul Harris Fellow, and he's here in Serbia. And he is all about service above self. Tell him your name.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Strahinja, and it's a hard one probably for you. So Marjorie and all of the others called me S these days. Yes, like from Gossip Girl. So it was, thanks to your speaker, it was quite an honor to hear this interesting and relevant topic. And it was just quite interesting for me personally to see how your club is having meetings and everything. So thank you. It was quite nice meeting your president and your members. And I just hope that we will have lots of opportunities for something similar like all of this.
And he's probably going to be the next mayor. So anyhow.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Thank you. Also,
Thank you.
I've learned some really cool facts about Belgrade. I've got 6 of them that made me go, that's really cool. There are 2 million people in Belgrade. They are in the top 10 in the world for the nightclubs. They have, yeah, I know that's an important one. There's lots and lots of Serbians in Chicago, a lot. Did you know that, Ted?
I certainly did.
Yeah.
Well aware of that.
Vladimir means, Vlada means government, and Mir means peace. So Vlada, we call him Vlada. Vladimir, that's his name. I didn't realize that's what Vladimir means. Einstein's wife was Serbian, and apparently she did a lot of the calculations. And the last interesting tip is there is Serbian marble at our White House. So there were lots of more tips, but we're running out of time. So Clay, can you go ahead and run that very quick video that I did at 1 a.m. this morning because poor Bill can't.
President Marjorie, if we could, before we run the video, I don't want to eclipse such a great video, but I'd like to ask our speaker to draw from our raffle basket.
Oh, raffle. There we go. Yes.
Obviously, I'm getting rusty at this job, Marjorie.
Thank you so much for helping, Ted.
The last 3 numbers are 279. $279.
I know. Hey, we need raffle tickets there.
And now, Clay, we'll roll the video.
I can't see it. Yeah, we're not seeing it here. Very good. Well, it was just 45 minutes. We'll put it up on Facebook, and I'm sure Bill will do a better one. Pressure's on now after he has surgery. I just want to say that we just got tested for COVID. We need prayers that it's negative.
I'm negative.
You already got your test back? All right, we're getting our tests back because we do leave tomorrow morning early, and safe travel prayers would be great. And before we adjourn, did you know that I only have 7 more meetings left, and I will continue my thank yous when I get back on Monday with the meeting on Monday. So, but anyhow, thank you very much. And I'm going to have Ted ring the bell when I say meeting adjourned. From
Safe
Serbia.
travels, President Marjorie.
Thank you.
Meeting is adjourned.
Oh yeah, I can. I think I can play it. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe. It was really awful. I mean, it really. I mean.
Never explain and never apologize.
Okay. Well, it was.
So Party with a Purpose is, all of our Rotarians, of course, have different businesses, and now we're starting to host.
Yeah, I'll be back for Party with a Purpose.
And Rotarians will pay $25, and that money will then go to some charity. We can get together at a different venue.
You drink wine, you have fellowship.
We can't get our Rotarians to do the painting and the working, but they'll come and party, you know?
And Mark, there is another fact for you. The first flag ever to be on your White House
Yeah.
was Serbian flag next to yours in 1918.
Really?
Woodrow Wilson
I
made
should
it.
have
The first
added
one,
that.
the first one ever, except United States flag, was Serbian flag. Woodrow Wilson made it.
Really?
See that?
Just did one. You already seriously got yours back?
We are dating Vladislava, you all are negative.
Did he email it or text it?
Email.
Ooh.
I got my email. saying that-
Laboratory.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
It's all in.
Marjorie, no, it's also English, Marjorie.
It's right.
It's great. Hosting a meeting.
You have this one in English.
Fine.
Just share that. The second one is in English. So the second one, open. it.
Okay, is it?
Oh,
All right, we're getting.
Oh, go.
No, don't say that.
Negative.
Is it negative?
Yeah, this one is for your border. If you need this in Serbia. And this is in English.
So I do have a negative test. All right, I'm coming home tomorrow, guys. I got a negative test. Joni has a negative test. Hey, if anybody's on here, I'm going to show you this beautiful hotel. And wait till you see this. This is Serbia. Watch this. Can you guys see this? Elizabeth, can you still see it? It's been so hard to read the language here. I don't know if you can see that. What's that? And the billboards and the traffic signs are really, really hard. All right, guys, I'm logging off.
We have to catch it. You can't even watch.